Would make it with like cinnamon apple. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
90-Day Fiance, star Rob Warne car accident. Rob Warne's conditions is very critical and admitted hospital. I will explain everything. Today, we're talking about a story that has left 90-Day Fiance fans across the globe in shock. Recently, Rob Warne, a major character from 90-Day Fiance and its spin-offs, was in a car accident that changed his life. Everyone in the know says he is in a critical condition and is in a Los Angeles hospital right now. From the accident to the flood of support from fans and castmates, we are here to break down all we know so far in this evolving story. Before going to the main topic, I would like to say, like this video, and please subscribe to the channel. Allow me to introduce Rob Warne to those of you who may be unfamiliar with the 90-Day Fiance universe. Season 10 of 90-Day Fiance introduced Rob to the world in 2023 as the American partner in a transatlantic romance with British socialite Sophie. Their relationship was far from ideal. It was characterized by problems with trust, cultural differences, and sometimes heated arguments. Rob was well known for his easygoing demeanor, witty remarks, and let us face it, a talent for stirring things up. He was born in Los Angeles. Audiences were enthralled with Rob's story from the beginning. He resided in a small apartment in a seedy area of Los Angeles, which caused some people to take notice when Sophie moved in from the UK. The gap between Rob's reality and Sophie's affluent expectations was immediately brought up by fans. However, in spite of these difficulties, the pair married in June 2023, and their beachside wedding was shown on the show in February 2024. But their marriage did not endure. Rob and Sophie announced their separation in March 2025 during the recommitment ceremony of 90-Day, The Last Resort Season 2, a moment that caused controversy among fans. Rob has been making waves ever since, both on and off the screen. He joined 90-Day Hunt for Love, the newest spin-off on TLC, where he has been looking for a new partner following his breakup with Sophie. In addition, he joined other cast members Josh Weinstein and Jamal Menzies to establish the boy band 90-Day Bad Boys. They released a music video from Sync's It Is Going to Be Me, which went viral for all the right reasons. Rob appeared to be living his best life until this terrible accident completely upended everything. Rob's experience on 90-Day Fiance has been, to put it mildly, somewhat crazy. Fans have been talking about him ever since his turbulent marriage to Sophie and his daring entry into the music industry. The subject has now turned to something far more serious, though. Let us examine the specifics of the unfortunate incident that has everyone on edge. In the evening of June 27, 2025, the incident took place in Los Angeles, California. Initial reports state that Rob Warne was operating the I-405 highway by himself. He was traveling south when his car was in a terrible collision. A speeding truck that allegedly blew a red light at an intersection impacted Rob's vehicle, a black 2022 Tesla Model 3, according to witnesses. Rob's automobile was completely destroyed in the collision, and he had to wait about 20 minutes for rescuers to release him from the debris. The situation was dire, yet paramedics were on the scene in a matter of minutes. Rob had been hurt several times and was unconscious. He was sent to emergency surgery right away after being transferred to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, one of the best trauma hospitals in the nation. The following few hours were touch and go, according to people close to Rob, as medical professionals worked non-stop to stabilize him. To be clear, we do not yet have all the information because this is still an inquiry. The Riverside, California, truck driver, 42, was unhurt, but is assisting the police, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. Police are investigating if inattentive driving or mechanical breakdown played a part, although there is currently no evidence that drugs or alcohol were involved. We do know that Rob has serious injuries, and that his condition is stable but critical. Let us examine what that entails. Rob Warne is still in Cedars-Sinai's intensive care unit, as per the most recent updates. Rob suffered several fractures, including a fractured femur and several ribs, severe internal bleeding, and a catastrophic head injury, according to a statement posted by his family on his official Instagram account. Because of the severe brain damage, doctors have put him in a medically induced coma to help his body repair and reduce swelling. To further illustrate how bad this situation is, he is now on a ventilator to help with breathing. In cases of severe brain trauma, a medically induced coma is frequently employed to prevent further damage to the patient's brain. For those of you who are not familiar with medical terminology, despite the significant danger, this surgery has the potential to save lives. While requesting privacy during this time, Rob's family has also thanked fans for their overwhelming support. As Rob's situation changes, they will keep you informed. The news that Rob is in a coma is heartbreaking. He has been all over our screens, dancing in music videos, making jokes, and even smiling while navigating the drama of reality TV. It is just hard to comprehend that he is currently in a hospital bed, battling for his life. However, witnessing the solidarity of the 90-day fiancé community in support of him has been quite moving. Let us discuss that next. As word of Rob's tragedy spread like wildfire on social media, both cast members and fans posted prayers and condolences. With thousands of followers sharing meaningful thoughts, the hashtag #PrayForRob has been trending on Instagram. Admire commented, "Rob, you are a fighter. The rest of us are cheering you on. This is heartbreaking," another person added. Rob's enthusiasm for the show was amazing. "I am sending his family my undying love." A number of 90-Day Fiancé co-stars have also made their voices heard. Rob's bandmate from the 90-Day Bad Boys, Josh Weinstein, said in a video on Instagram stories that Rob is like a brother to me. "This is difficult to do. Kindly remember him in your prayers. Stay strong, Rob," said bandmate Jamal Menzies, who posted a vintage picture of the three of them smiling together. "We have got you." Even Rob's ex-wife Sophie spoke out despite their difficult past. "Please pray for Rob," was the straightforward statement she sent on her Instagram stories. "I do not want anyone to experience this, regardless of what has transpired between us." In a statement, TLC, the network that produces 90-Day Fiancé, said, "We are very sorry to learn about Rob Warne's accident. We are sending him and his family ones our best wishes during this trying time." Additionally, it has been stated that the network has put a halt to production on 90-Day Hunt for Love in order to give Rob time to heal. The way the community comes together is quite touching. Fans of 90-Day Fiancé, after all, are notoriously fervent, but this display of affection demonstrates how much Rob means to so many. There have been tales of admirers staging small vigils outside the hospital, carrying candles, and praying for his recovery, so it is not just happening online. It demonstrates Rob's influence as a person and not only as a television celebrity. However, this narrative is more than just the support or the accident. There is also a lot of conjecture about this situation. What caused it? And what does it portend for Rob's future? Let us examine that. In order to comprehend the circumstances surrounding this event, we must examine Rob's life up to June 27th. For him, the past year has been a blur. Rob immersed himself in new endeavors following his breakup with Sophie. He was seen cuddling up to a model named Elise Benson while filming 90-Day Hunt for Love. Additionally, he was pursuing his musical career with 90-Day Bad Boys, which appeared to be a passion project of his. However, behind the scenes, things were not quite as perfect. Rob has been candid about the psychological effects of his split from Sophie. He revealed in an exclusive interview with In Touch Weekly that the breakup was painful, even going so far as to chop off his long hair as a sign of letting go of that phase. He was also under a lot of public scrutiny, with accusations of harsh behavior and rumors that he strongly denied. Rob labeled the accusations defamatory and baseless, while Sophie accused him of being disloyal and even of engaging in dubious activities on OnlyFans. Furthermore, Rob was coping with personal losses. He revealed in January 2025 that his cherished dog, Rome, was suffering from lymphoma, a diagnosis that deeply affected him. He was very passionate in his posts and referred to Rome as his son. Rob then posted a vintage picture on Instagram stories in May 2025 to share the devastating news of his grandfather's death. A man under a great deal of stress was depicted by these losses, as well as the demands of reality TV fame. Now, I am not claiming that stress was the cause of the accident. There is not any proof. But it is difficult to deny that Rob had a lot on his plate. He might have been distracted or emotionally spent due to his public breakup, the death of close ones, and the ongoing drama in the media. It is worth thinking about even if we do not know if that contributed to the crash. Rob's life has been a roller coaster, and this event serves as a sobering reminder of how swiftly things may change. Let us discuss the next course of action. Rob's medical recovery will be a drawn-out and difficult process. Memory problems and physical disabilities are just two of the long-term consequences of a traumatic brain injury. It appears like his physicians are doing everything they can to offer him the best chance of surviving, because he is in a medically induced coma. If he survives this crucial stage, the internal damage and fractured bones will also necessitate prolonged recovery. Liability is an issue from a legal standpoint. Rob's family may file a civil action for damages if the truck driver is found to be at fault, especially considering how seriously injured Rob was. There is also the insurance issue. Rob's and the truck driver's plans will probably be examined. And even though it is too soon to make any assumptions, if negligence is demonstrated, criminal charges could be brought. This is the point at which things become complex. A car collision such as this is not only a medical emergency, but also a financial and legal disaster. In addition to the several other issues Rob's family is currently facing, they now have to cope with hospital fees, possible legal action, and the uncertainty surrounding his recovery. Even without a family in the spotlight, it is too much for anyone to bear. But one thing is certain, Rob's perseverance is something that we have often witnessed on 90 Day Fiancé. He is the one who can get through this. Bigger concerns concerning the costs of reality TV celebrity are also brought up by this accident. The first celebrity to experience personal difficulties in the public eye is Rob Warne, from the 2022 death of Adriel, the son of Annie Francisco and Robert Springs, to the 2025 death of David Murphy. The 90 Day Fiancé series has experienced its fair share of catastrophes. These celebrities may suffer greatly from the ongoing scrutiny, hate speech, and performance pressure. Rob has been candid about the difficulties of being well-known. He has been the subject of allegations, gossip, and even an arrest for serious violence in 2007 that came up again when he was on the show. The relentless onslaught of criticism must be difficult, even if he has refuted many of the accusations made against him. Rob was obviously carrying a lot of weight, especially when you consider the personal losses he had experienced. This, in my opinion, is a time for fans to take stock. Although we like the drama of 90 Day Fiancé, including the arguments, splits, and tell-alls, these are actual people with real lives. Rob's accident serves as a reminder that humanity exists beyond the plots and editing. Perhaps we should have a little more empathy for Rob and all the celebrities we see each week. What does Rob Warne's future hold? At the moment, his recuperation is the main priority. Although it will take time and the proper care, doctors are hopeful that he can make important improvement. To assist with medical costs, his family has created a GoFundMe page, and supporters have already contributed thousands of dollars. It is a lovely reminder of the strength that comes from community. What this signifies for 90 Day Hunt for Love or his musical endeavors is uncertain in terms of his career. Although TLC has vowed to inform fans, development is currently on hold. Rob's a fighter, Josh Weinstein said in a recent interview, referring to Rob's bandmates' commitment to upholding the 90 Day Bad Boys culture. We will be prepared to create more songs with him when he returns. I want to close with some optimism. Whether it has been his marriage, public criticism, or personal losses, Rob Warne has always bounced back from setbacks. The hardest battle Rob has yet to face is this accident. But if we know anything about him, it is that he never gives up. Let us send good energies, hope for a miracle, and keep him in our prayers. You can also join the conversation online using Pray for Rob to share your support. And most importantly, keep Rob in your prayers or send positive thoughts his way. Let's show him that the 90-day fiancé community is behind him 100%. More update. Rob posts a concerning photo wearing nasal cannula. Fans wonder what's wrong. And are Rob and Sophie from 90 Day Fiancé couple still together? I will explain everything. 90 Day Fiancé. Rob introduced a new GF. Who is he dating? Returning from 90 Day Fiancé are two of the show's most popular names. The spin-off series Hunt for Love features a return to reality television for Rob and Chantal. Fans were hoped they'd find love again after their terrible breakups. As for the former, they were wed for over 4 or 5 years before realizing their marriage wasn't working. From Rob's perspective, he had only been married to Sophie for a short period of time. Spectators watched it happen in the series. The divorce between Pedro and Chantal was public. The family Chantal chronicled their troubled marriage over many seasons before finally ending. Sophie publicly ditched Rob on national television during the last resort. The two famous people went to hunt for love in the hopes of starting again. They haven't been on screen getting close yet, though. Is that Chantal though? Word on the street is that she's Rob's new flame. Viewers have been following 90 Day Fiancé Hunt for Love for a while now. As a whole, the cast is branching out to form new relationships, and things are heating up. From Rob and Chantal's perspective, they have largely maintained their independence. The former's crush on Elise turned out to be a total bust. On the other hand, Chantal had some problems getting dates on the show at first. Following her 5-year marriage, Chantal freely confessed that she feels unprepared. She's been seeing dating coaches and just went out with Joe, a man of 25 years old. Contrarily, Rob has been occupied with other things. He moved on to Jennifer, Arizona after breaking up with Elise. They were immediately hitched, and now they're both spreading rumors that they're not sleeping together. Chantal and Rob, however, have not yet communicated. The 90 Day Fiancé community was taken aback by the sudden influx of new information online. A red carpet event for Hunt for Love featured Rob and Chantal's appearance. Rob had his hand around Chantal's waist in one of the photos. Fans went absolutely wild at the provocative position. Many people were curious as to whether Rob had just proposed to Chantal. Their romance was the subject of much conjecture on Reddit posts. Distress swept over the crowd. "Even did these two stay together?" was a comment made by a fan. Given that they haven't interacted with each other within the resort, this seems somewhat strange. However, inside information was highly sought for. Is it possible that an unexpected romance is taking place behind the scenes? But that's not true. They're definitely not dating. It has been verified by multiple sources that Rob and Chantal are simply friends. They posed that way to promote the show and get fans excited, and fans found out later. Thus, Rob's new girlfriend wasn't actually introducing herself in the images, unlike what fans thought. All that mattered was making a splash in the media. Those rooting for a romance between them will have to be patient. Rob posts a concerning photo wearing nasal cannula. Fans wonder what's wrong. Rob, star of 90 Day Fiancé, is perpetually making headlines. Both his dating life and his involvement with Hunt for Love participants have been the subject of this. He made an initial appearance on the show alongside his now divorced wife Sophie, but they are no longer together. But they still make a big deal out of their split. What with Sophie constantly leaking facts about Rob's sexuality and other things on social media. Sophie attempted to kiss Rob at an event not long ago, and admirers caught a glimpse of him there. The man, nevertheless, bowed his head and bolted. As Sophie would later disclose, he was accompanied by his girlfriend and was visibly distressed by the event. Now Rob posted an Instagram story, but he quickly removed it. He was hospitalized and wearing a nasal cannula in the shot. His legion of devoted followers were understandably concerned when he uploaded a photo of himself in the hospital. When fans of 90 Days noticed that Rob and Chantal were cuddling on the Hunt for Love red carpet, they went absolutely crazy. Fans immediately thought Rob and Chantal were dating after seeing a snapshot of him with his arm around her waist. A lot of people on Reddit were wondering, are they dating now? Curiously, the lack of on-screen interaction between the two had only served to heighten the audience's interest. Rob and Chantal are not dating, according to insiders who promptly put an end to the rumors. The only reason they posed that way was to promote the concert and generate buzz. No, Rob didn't introduce his new girlfriend. It was all a publicity stunt. Conversely, Sophie only recently let it slip that Rob is seeing someone and is even going to events with his new fiancé. When it comes to social media, Rob has always been a major player. Even though he frequently updates his admirers on his life, many started to worry after he published a certain snapshot. It was a selfie, and Rob was obviously dressed like a nurse. The patient's gown was the standard blue hue for operating rooms and other such procedures. Plus, Rob was equipped with a nasal cannula. He appeared quite serious, which piqued the interest of his admirers. Within 2 minutes of his fans starting to worry about his health, he removed the message. A number of admirers captured images of the post and distributed them throughout other social media platforms, including Reddit and Facebook. They began to speculate about his health problems and asked whether any of his fans were familiar with the operation. Someone on the internet said that Rob looked like he was getting dental work done, although most others were in agreement. Some even wondered why he needed a nasal cannula, since he was only visiting the dentist. He was wearing a dental bib, as several of his followers noticed. The possibility that he was getting nitrous was brought up by another. One of Rob's admirers brought attention to the fact that he mentioned being at the dentist in an Instagram story. Numerous fans have put out various speculations, but Rob has yet to provide any clarification. Some followers even went so far as to say the post was fake, claiming it appeared to be created by an AI. Still, we don't have any evidence on the horrible narration to back up our claims just yet. Are Rob and Sophie from 90 Day Fiancé couple still together? For a long time, 90 Day Fiancé on TLC has dealt with the difficulties and emotional turmoil that couples have when their relationships span across countries. Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra were introduced to viewers in season 10, and they were in a precarious relationship as they considered getting married. Season 8 of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, features the couple's return, during which they discussed the health of their marriage and revealed some of the ups and downs they had endured since being married. The most modern of methods for Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra to start dating was over Instagram. Sophie lived in the UK and Rob was a model and actor in Los Angeles, California. They became romantically involved online, despite the vast physical distance between them. Rob reluctantly decided to proceed with Sophie's K-1 visa application after some time had passed. Her impression of Rob's flat, which she described as humble, was one of surprise and mild disappointment upon her arrival in the United States. When Sophie found out that Rob had been having casually explicit chats with other women before she got there, tensions flared up even more. Rob had previously denied the affair. In June 2023, the couple tied the knot despite their initial reservations. Receiving Sophie's mother's sincere blessing was a highlight of their wedding. Life as a married couple, nevertheless, was far from easy. Their relationship was marked by regular disputes and disagreements, as Sophie found it difficult to adjust to Rob's way of life. Moving to Austin, Texas, the couple sought a new beginning and a better life. New problems arose shortly after the relocation, further straining their relationship, and the move failed to offer the stability they had hoped for. After their marriage, Rob Warne and Sophie Sierra kept their relationship status under wraps, but rumors about their future together persisted. Sophie reportedly started living at a friend's apartment not long after they moved to Austin, Texas. She allegedly left due in large part to the continuing anguish from earlier trust issues, including worries about Rob's past internet relationships with other women and recurrent arguments. The pair made it public at the year's conclusion that they were splitting up and no longer dating. But Rob was more forthcoming with details in May 2025, when he addressed the problem head-on and gave supporters more information. In an effort to save their marriage, he disclosed that they had attempted treatment. Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful. He did acknowledge that they had a brief affair following their split, but he stressed that the divorce was permanent. It seemed like Rob and Sophie were both committed to getting over the marriage, because even though they hadn't filed for divorce yet, Rob was hiring a lawyer and Sophie had apparently contacted one as well. Their relationship has been on again, off again, and convoluted, so it's reasonable to ask if they could ever get back together. This time though, it seems like they're dead set on divorce, given the emotional distance and candor of their recent remarks. Sophie Sierra has been successful in the United States on her own since breaking up with Rob. She is well known as a model for OnlyFans and has just opened her own online business, Sophie Sierra Business, selling waist trainers and exercise clothes. Aside from her successful business endeavors, she is also well known for her roles as a reality TV personality and as a Fashion Nova brand ambassador. Sophie has been extensively traveling across the United States for both business and pleasure since 2025, when she went on a vacation to the Caribbean. Her fan base is constantly expanding because to her chic demeanor and her self-assurance. There have been speculations circulating that she might be dating reality star Pedro Jimeno, but neither of them have acknowledged the reports. It would appear that Sophie is making the most of her recent independence and prosperity by devoting herself to her work and her happiness. The Los Angeles-based model and digital artist Rob Warne is steadily expanding his online profile. He was front and center on reality television thanks to his appearances with Sophie in seasons 2 and 1 of 90 Day, The Last Resort, and 90 Day, Hunt for Love, respectively. He is well known as an influential figure in the world of social media, having amassed over 195,000 Instagram followers and a sizable following on TikTok and Snapchat. By regularly providing updates from his personal life and creative pursuits, he maintains an engaging presence in the digital and entertainment sphere, whether it's through lifestyle vlogs or short-form material. Rob Warne offers up cryptic response to Sophie Sierra's abuse allegations. Rob Warne, who plays the last resort in 90 Days, is speaking out. Rob is giving his side of the story in response to Sophie Sierra's troubling accusations. Sophie said Rob physically assaulted her, as previously reported by monsters and critics. She said that Rob pushed her into a table as she was trying to break up with him due to her fear of him, and she posted an intimate selfie of the injury on her Instagram story. In addition, Sophie shared recordings in which she claims Rob flung objects at her and threw away all of her possessions in an angry rage. The claims Sophie made against Rob got wind of while she was going on an Instagram story tirade. In response to his wife's accusations, the reality TV star took to Instagram story. Rob disproved Sophie's claims in a brief and pithy remark, in contrast to her Instagram story slides. Beginning, "Don't believe everything you hear," he said, "and trust only half of what you perceive. What a terrible show," he said with a smirk. Season 2 of 90 Days, The Last Resort reveals that there is more complexity to Rob and Sophie's marital problems than we first thought. They went on a week-long marriage retreat in Arizona with their co-stars because they thought things were getting so bad. Sophie and Rob are hoping to tackle their extensive list of concerns with the assistance of a team of professionals. Is that even possible? Rob and Sophie appear doomed to remain estranged due to their infidelity and ongoing disputes. However, Rob held out hope that they would at one point. Rob explained to his Instagram fans in November 2024 how he took advantage of filming 90 Day Fiance, spin-off Season 2. Before Season 2 of 90 Days, The Last Resort, Rob acknowledged that his marriage to Sophie had been turbulent, but he was still prepared to give it that much more, in hopes of working our marriage out. Writing, "Only those who genuinely cherish marriage can comprehend why we would persevere for one another despite all the challenges." He emphasized that marriage is indeed worth fighting for. The couple still has time before the end of the season to make a decision about their marriage, keep trying to fix it or end it. They will have a final chance to recommit to one another in the season finale, or they can choose to separate ways permanently. No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.